We are going to hop right into a game because I was in the middle of a game. I started a new game, just like subconsciously. This has that kind of like one more churn in a sort of like one more game kind of feel, where I hopped right in and I started playing a new game, only to realize, oh shit, wait, hold on, oh no, I'm, I need to go to sleep, because I have work at fucking noon tomorrow. So, welcome to Against the Storm. We have our ancient hearth with a lizard guy. We have three races. There are three races in this game: humans, beavers, and lizard, and they have like different things that they like. Which you can see here. You might not really be able to see that all that much, but you can see like humans like to eat jerky, biscuits, pie. Beavers like biscuits, pickled goods, and that's it. Lizards like jerky, pie, and pickled goods. So what I found is if I can, getting biscuits up and pickled goods up is a great way to make sure that my population is really happy in general. Or getting jerky up and pickled goods up. Or just like any two of these, which is usually kind of something you want. There's a whole lot going on up here. Up here we have all of like our resources. So these are our edible foods. These are our building materials, like parts, which are like a really hard thing to get, and they're used for a lot of your like production buildings. We have these crafting resources, which we don't have many of because we just started. It's not very obvious that we just started, but we did just start. Like we're still in the year one drizzle, which I'll get to in a second. Fuel and exploration we have here. Wood and coal. I don't actually know where we got coal from. Maybe it's one of these. But we have the drizzle in here. We have, this is our like timer. There are 3 seasons to a year. There's the drizzle. There's the clearance, which is sort of like a light, very light drizzle rain period. And then there's the storm. And during the drizzle and the clearance, you usually have like positive effects going on or no effects. Clearance is kind of like the neutral zone. And your people are generally all right with things, but during the storm, it gets much more dangerous, and that is shown by these things over here: the effects of the drizzle, storm, and the drizzle and storm. So the green ones happen during the drizzle. And then the red ones happen during the storm, and they only happen at certain hostility levels, which is shown here. I'm not going to go too into depth about this, and I'm going to go over these again real quick so I remember what it is that I have here. But we have reputation gain from resolve by 100%. So if I get their resolve, this little green bar above this blue tick, which is 70 for humans, 85 for beavers, and I think 65 for lizards. Oh, 58. I wonder if that's from a thing I've done somewhere. So I'm pretty sure this was 65. It might be because of this environment, maybe? Anyways, if I get it above that mark, I'll start generating reputation, which is what you use to win. You need 12 points of reputation, sometimes more depending on the length of the game. Basically, the games have lengths, and that determines how much Queen's Impatience, which is how you lose, and how much reputation, which is how you win, you generate at any one time, or need to win or lose. So this says that I probably want to work on getting my people's resolve up, so I really want to work on getting these things met. Clothing is a really nice way to get resolve up for both your humans and your beavers. Lizards don't actually need clothing. They won't wear clothing. So anything that has like an effect from clothing, this is something I've noticed, anything that has an effect if they need clothing, we don't have one here. We have 2 services things, which is spooky. I also have +5 to spark dew production, which is really good because spark dew is pretty valuable, and normally you only get like 2 a minute, but this means that during a drizzle, which is usually about 4 minutes long, you'll get 7 a minute, which is really good. And then invigorating winds. If we have clothing for people, our units move 20% faster. I wonder if this only affects humans and beavers, so we can only get our humans and beavers, but if we get clothing for everybody, they'll all move like a little bit faster, which is really good. And then we have our storm effects. This is a standard storm effect. they basically lose 5 global resolve per level of hostility during the storm. And if their resolve falls too low, then they get sad and they leave. And if they leave, the queen gets impatient with us. There are also ways for them to die from things, but this is really spooky, and this is really spooky. So once we get to Hostility 4, which so far I've won most of my games before Hostility 4, because I haven't gotten like a hard mission yet. I've done like trivial or easy missions just because it's early game, I guess. If this reaches Hostility 4, then everybody has a chance to destroy their yield. A 10% chance to destroy what they would get from farming, from harvesting, or... Which actually, you don't need to worry about that with farming, because they do the harvesting for farming during clearance. If we get to Hostility 5, there's a 30% chance that somebody dies every 45 seconds, and that's... each person has, I think, that 30% chance. So... basically, you're gonna probably trigger that every time, and every time somebody dies, she gets angry with you, impatient with you as well again. So what were we building? What were we doing? We have a furnace here. Furnace was a good pickup. We have a rain collector. See, spark dew's at 7. I built this obviously because I saw the spark dew thing. I was like, all right, well, we're gonna get one of those up and running. I have a supplier here, which will allow me to make fabrics really like a lot better. I have a crude workstation, which we're gonna have to get up, which we're gonna temporarily make all of our supplies in, but I'm gonna limit how much they can make because it costs a lot more. So this is your basic workstation, right? You can make planks, you can make fabric, you can make bricks. You get every year, you get new... Every time your resolve goes up, rather, every time you get to one of these little blips, you get a blueprint reward, or occasionally these will give you... These are your... Basically how you win the game is doing these orders. Because each one of them gives you a resolve always, or a reputation always, and then other things. Whenever you get to these reputation ticks, these little blueprints, you get a new blueprint. These little blue dots, you get little blueprints. Blueprints are things like the supplier is a blueprint. You get to pick 3 at the beginning of the game, so I picked supplier, obviously. And granary, which allows me to make packs of stuff, but also allows me to make mushroom soup from stuff, which is really, really good. Because mushroom soup will be a much better like source of food than just eating the food raw. Because you use 5 here to make 10, right? And then the granary, I got this so I can make my pottery with clay. I also got this so I can use my plant fibers to make fabric. Obviously, I'm getting ready to go for that clothing thing. That's what I was thinking there, I imagine. We'll use pottery to make packs of trade goods. So once this gets up, as long as I've got clay and wood coming in, which I will always have clay and wood coming in, I can make pottery, which I can then make into trade goods, which I can then sell for good money, assuming I get a trader. I have a trader up, which I do not currently. I will have to remember to do that relatively soon. I've got 3 woodcutters huts. Each of these, they're working on this, chomping into this glade, which is... We're just going to start working, which is what one of my tasks is. I also need to make packs of crops, which is probably also why I picked up the granary, so I could use stuff that I find to make these packs of crops. Shift you guys in here, chopping through to here. Once we get to that, we'll get our glade done. We need a guy on here. Our food is going down because we don't have a lot of production. We do have giant vegetables, which is actually worth noting, as I can probably... once the storm hits, I'm going to take these guys off of like cutting into new glades. That way we don't risk anything nasty appearing. And set them to chopping just trees in general. No, go over there. Don't be chopping that. Ooh, eggs and mushies. That's nice. It's actually... Oh! Ah! Rip! I didn't mean to do that. My bad, you guys. I meant to take this. We'll just let them chop there. But you are going to come down here, chop this stuff. What we'll probably do is we're going to set up a Because I have these perks down here. Giant vegetable, and I assume... Oh, I don't have a farm yet, but once I have a farm, I can turn this into farmland. And then I can grow vegetables there, which will let me grow even more, which I'll be able to grow like a bunch of vegetables. We can't put somebody on here just yet, which is fine because we're not going to be producing a lot. Once all 3 of these are built, I think I'll have everything except for orders are ready to complete. We're gonna... Oh, no. Actually, she's at 1 already. So. We need a bakery, smokehouse, or tavern. This could be really good. Because this will let us do leisure and luxury. It'll be real expensive and difficult to get going. You don't use leisure or luxury, which is frustrating. We can't do this, though, yet, now that I think about it. Because, wow, this is really great. I mean, the passive effect will be actually really good. But we need 3 people to get that going. So it has this passive effect, which increases global resolve by 3 if you have 3 people working it. And you need ale and wine in order to... Hold on, let me just... While I'm thinking about it, because my brain was just thinking about it. Set up a trading post, because I want to look at the trade routes. A smokehouse to make some jerky might be good. If we have a reliable source of meat production, which we have our trapper who can't get meat, but we do have a little bit of meat on the map. It's mostly eggs. I might leave this until I chop into these 2 glades to see if we've got more meat in there. Because the other option is right here. We have biscuits and pie. Granary doesn't let us. We don't actually have a way to make the flour needed for these. So I think it is just going to be the smokehouse. This is really cool, but we can't really we can't really use the people, and we can't use the needs. This is something to pick a little bit later. This is solid because I can get it up and running pretty quick, and the jerky will make 2 of my races, including one of the more difficult to satisfy ones, happier, which is really cool if I can find a spot to put it. Here we go. We're about to hit our first storm and get a trader in hopefully after the storm. Keep an eye on our lizard's resolve. We're at -3, which I think is fine. Yeah, that looks like it'll be fine. So we'll just let these guys build. What can I trade from you? Oh, I can get stone from you. So if we can get a reliable income of stuff, we can get stone from these guys, which will be real handy because we can make stone paths and stuff. But that's all we can really get. Spices from the Citadel is alright. If I really need human or lizardfolk resolve, or if I just need that little bump up to get that going. But otherwise, we'll just leave this open for the standard trader to come through. Alright. New year, new people. Could use a lizard. We do need a lot of scavenging. Fabrics will be handy because we can... do we have fabric? We don't have fabric yet. She's making fabric. So in theory, we could stop her from making fabric. If we're going to get this guy so that we can use the fabric to make our supplier. I think that's actually kind of the play. Just 3 humans is alright, but I'd rather have a lizard to do some of this internal stuff. So we're actually going to take you off of that. Oh, ooh, Zorg will be coming to the settlement. Might have cooked and raw food, pottery, tools, as well as perks and blueprints tied to agriculture. Nice. We also need to pick our new cornerstone. Cornerstones are huge. Coat delivery line. This would be huge. Or we can gain crystallized dew for every 10 spark dew produced. Crystallized dew would be huge. We have... You know what? I'm going to do this. Because we have the spark dew stuff for that. You're good. I need you for planks, actually, for now, which is gonna kind of sucky, but There you go. You can work on some planks, Mr. Beaverman. Stonecutter's camp has no deposits nearby. Okay. Is there stone somewhere else to be gotten right now? Not particularly. So I think we're gonna put you up. I built roads here. They're getting in the way. I think I want to go for a dangerous glade now. Let's pick our new things real quick. Just see what we got. Paths, 50 paths for 5 stuff, or we could go for the building materials and get more beaver clan support and 2 parts, which is huge. That's more beavers. I think I'm gonna do this. It's a little bit more difficult to get. It's something to work on though. Here we go. Into the wilds. This is something I'm going to do because I tend to go real hard on this, and I want the simple tools, I want the parts, and I want this perk. It just makes all my camp cutting 15% faster. Beautiful. Free thing, because this guy's basically going to chop through these, and I want to chop through... yeah, there's all these glades over here that I'm just going to plow through. But just before we do that, I want to... really hard push towards that. I want to do a dangerous glade over here, because these are fun. And usually they're a little difficult / dangerous, but they're not like... I've never struggled with getting them done in time once I know what it is I need to be doing. To this, you're going to have just like 20 fabric limit. And this will be like a 10 pottery limit. And then you'll just be converting that pottery directly into packs of trade goods, which I'm not going to have a limit on. Okay, here we go. Ooh, a rain mill. This is huge. Flour. Oh, I'm so sad. Ooh, this is huge too. We can use these hammers to convert this, and I am going to take one guy off of one of these woodcutters real quick to do this. But this, if I convert it, if I do this real quick, and convert this, it's going to make all my harvesting and planning slower, and it's going to give everyone negative resolve. Oh, there's the pizza. I'll be right back. Whoa. Pizza. Big man ordered pizza for a chill night of gaming in the rain. You know it. Oh. The reason I started coming into this area during the drizzle, I knew there was a good chance that whatever I was going to have was going to either have a passive debuff or working effect debuff. And I can tank that during the drizzle and the clearance, but I can't do it during the storm. And if I open this just before the storm, oof, basically I'd be ruined. This thing would trigger, would destroy all my bricks and planks and fabric. If I contain it, I get 5 bugs a minute, which is an infinite source of food, essentially. And then once they're done with that, we're going to rebuild this. Because this is amazing. When I heard rain mill, I thought it was the lumber mill. I thought it was just a better lumber mill, which gives makes planks. But flour is also good because that means we can get the pie and stuff going. Trader is here. We can go ahead and sell some of our stuff, like our Rawson. What do we want? We could get a herb garden. Not really what I'm looking for. Ooh. Need 1 insect for every 2 mushrooms produced. It's not as good as I was thinking it was. For some reason, I thought that was going to be gain 1 insect, +1 to insects whenever you harvest insects, which would have made that nest even better. See, this is what I thought that this was going to be, but for insects. Bam, we got 1 amber. Alright, Zorg, unfortunately I don't really have a lot to buy from you right now, so... my bad. Thank you for coming, though. Zorg bought the pizza. Canonically. Here we go. Ooh. Encampment. This is what we'll do next, actually. Because we can send a little bit of food to these guys. And get them as extra pop, which is huge. In this game, there's a real balance you have to cut. Because every new pop you get increases your hostility. But it also increases your ability to produce much faster, which is important. Come on, you guys. You should work faster. Oh, we have a homeless person. Should probably rectify that. It's probably the lizard that's unhappy. Hey! Termite nest ready. Let's go and get that beaver back over here. And we'll send the human over to here with some eggs. Oop. To get these people. And where was this cooking thing? Could I use eggs for one of these? I could use eggs for this. I'm gonna do that then, actually. If we can, there is an amazing cornerstone called Sahilda's Cook's Book. Since we're gonna be working on mush soup, that would be a great thing to pick up, because it basically gives you free food. It gives you 5 jerky for every mushroom you make, or for every 10 mush soup you make, which is sounds silly. Sounds maybe not so great, but then you realize that, you know, you think about, oh, you actually use a person every time, or like every one of these crafts is 10 mush soup. So then every one of these crafts also gives 5 bacon, which is just amazing. Speaking of bacon, let's get a smokehouse going. Storm is here. I am probably going to have to burn through this storm. Did our glades. Stonecutter's camp has nothing nearby, so let's take a look at this. Carpenter, this is huge. Clothier, also huge. Rain mill, not as huge because I just got one for free. Both of these are huge. The extra plank, the planks would be much better because it would burn a lot less of my wood, which I'm struggling with. However, getting the coats going would mean that I could get the extra movement speed. I think getting the carpenter is more important, just because it guarantees a more reliable kind of like supply of a material. See, it only takes 5 for every 2 instead of 3 for every 2. And we're actually going to take you off of here and go ahead and delete this. Because the moment this is built, I'm going to put a beaver or something in here. And we need to start burning here in a second. Stonecutter's camp has no deposits. I forgot to move that. Do we have any new stones? We do. You're going to go there. You're going to come up here. And we're going to build paths all the way up here. And we're going to build a path. Can't really build the path out to here yet. We don't really need to either. And we're going to tick over. Stop the burn, please. Cornerstones. Here it is. There we go. It's actually a little bit depressing because it actually means I don't need this at all. So I am actually just going to not build that. This or this. 10 fabric is nice. I think this is probably better. We don't really use herbs. We have clay coming in. Leather just turns into fabric. And I want the beavers. So I think I'm going to do that. I mostly want the beavers so I can actually set up another woodcutter's camp. I want an active woodcutter's camp clearing just existing purely to cut wood in my base of operations. So we got a furnace here, going here. Going to put a guy on here. You can go to make copper bars if you have the tools available, otherwise you're making bricks. And then we need a beaver on here. It's gonna make planks for us. And we're gonna limit this to like 20. This is gonna make spark dew. We've made 24 spark dew from this. We're low on fuel, I'm aware. Tramper's cap has no deposits nearby. Oop. Work on those there. Part of why I want these woodcutters here is because of how wood starved we are. Because we're not actually wood starved. That's a bad way of putting it. But because these guys are chopping wood from so far away, they're not really getting us wood very quickly. Because they have to carry it all the way back. Whereas if I get a woodcutter going here, he'll chop all this down. And this will very quickly get brought back to the main storage because he's right here. See what I mean? And actually, we're even going to put him over on this side so that he can chop even better. Or transport even better. I'm even going to go so far as to take a guy off of here. Put another beaver onto here. So we're going to have an issue here in a second because it looks like we're burning through our wood pretty quick. What is using wood? You're using wood. You're using wood. We're going to turn you off for a little while. I'm not using pottery for anything other than trade goods, which are good, but you know what I mean? Not really a thing we need. Go and set those packs of crops to be made. I think that's all we're using wood for at the moment, is the sawmill and that. But both of those used a lot of wood, so hopefully now that we've reduced how much we're using, we'll be able to make a lot more. Trade arrived. Zorg! Here we go. Got some things to trade now. I could buy some roots, because we can use those for our packed goods. Oh, actually, hold on. We need 7 packs of crops. We need 3 roots per crop, which is 21 packs of crop, 21 roots minus 3 because we have enough for 1 in the making, and then plus like 10 for a safety net in case people eat them. Yeah, that's still way over. We could get some jerky. We're gonna be getting jerky pretty quickly here. So we could get some pickled goods, which will make our people pretty happy going forward. And pickled goods is basically just for beavers. 17 pickled goods for our beavers to make our beavers happier. And I think also our lizardmen like pickled goods. I think that's what we're gonna do. So I'll make both of these people a little bit happier going into the storm. If I was smart, I would have waited till the trader was almost gone to buy those, so the resolve lasts further into the storm itself. But I'm not smart. I am not a smart man. Do we have a reliable income of anything yet? Nothing that they want. We can't really afford to burn too much during this winter. So hopefully these pickled goods will keep us stable. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot to do these. Build a bunch of houses, get a few people, get a whole bunch of food and stuff. Absolutely. Easy pick. Okay. Booming economy. Oh, I wish I'd done this first. Shoot. This is huge, actually. This right here. 3 beavers, 10 stone, 10 tools, and a trade contract perk. And doing this is kind of rough. I'm not really going to use either of those. Ooh. This is really good. This is also really good. I think I'm going to go for this, because I think I already have this. I'm just going to have to build a new rain collector. Yeah, I already have tons of spark dew. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a new rain collector. Small farm. Here we go. Beautiful. Let's get you set up. Small farm. Build that. And we are going to make vegetables. Where else do we have stuff? We have stuff up here, which is probably where I'm going to put... go to rebuild this here. I'm probably going to put a second, once I can afford it, whole town up here, but for right now we'll just set up another storage. This will also be vegetables. And get some people on here. We're going to just get all of our people on here. Oh, actually. I actually needed a guy. New year, who dis? So neither of these rewards are too huge, so it comes down to the people, and I think this spread is better. This populates one of our farms. So we did just get farms up. This will fill up our... We're going to do this, because this will fill up our woodcutting homes. We're going to, once again... Actually, I don't want to do a dangerous thing so far out from our base. Do we have one, like, right next to our base? Yeah, right here. Bam. Temporarily commandeer you as well. You have nothing nearby. You can go get that clay. I feel like we're going out a little bit too far with these things as well. And I don't need them for quests, so I am just gonna bring you back. We are gonna go ahead and put you in, and you in, which is gonna give us 2 picks. Oh now would be a good time to pick up the tavern, probably, or the library. This is good. As we explore, we'll get a bunch of copper with also this, +1 to global resolve for rebuilt or salvaged ruins, which we've done 1. And if I can get that to 3 at all, then beautiful. And I am going to be able to make manuscripts at my thing. Who likes education? You like education? Just my beavers. Just the beavers like humans? Nah, fuck those people. Lizards? Nah, fuck those people. Only beavers like being educated. Fucking nerds. Oh, I'm so torn. Sloppy wood cutting. People do not give sloppy wood cutting enough credit. Mostly because there's an improved... I'm going to get another slice of pizza real quick while I talk about this. Mostly because there's an improved version, which just gives a flat 50% increase to chop rate. But the double chop rate on this, even though things burn like way faster, the double chop rate more than makes up for it. I spilled pizza on the floor. Oh God. What have I done? Where'd it go? I need to throw it away. This is a carpet. It's gonna soak in. Oh, there it is. Oh. Thankfully it was a large chunk of like sausage. So it didn't actually have any sauce on it. Still kind of sad.